Alright guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to cover the electronic parts of your 3D printer. The moment you move your machine from mechanical to electronics, you have made a mechatronic device. A mechatronic device is a device that uses mechanical laws and then it uses electronic computation to drive mechanical things, right? That's what mechatronics is. Now once you start getting to mechatronics, however, you begin to notice some new problems. And some of those problems is how frequently things can damage or burn or cause a fire, right? Now, in this particular bag that you see are all the sets of boards that I have damaged in the process of making this video, right? The first one I did, I fried this one, so I had to wait about 2 weeks to continue. And then when it came, I fried this one as well, right? I fried this one as well. And then I fried a couple more drivers along the way. So you see that this is not something you want to take lightly, right? Things can burn, things can damage, you can start a fire, all kinds of things can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing. So in this video, I thought it's best to create a separate video to explain all the possible components that you are going to need to be able to make your machine work, right? So first and foremost, if you don't understand what you're doing at this stage, you want to watch this video like 4, 5, 10 times so you don't damage something unknowingly, right? All right, so let's get into it. So the first and foremost things you're going to need in order to be able to wire up your mechanical device to make it controllable by the computer, you're going to need some drivers. Don't forget, we said the most important thing we're trying to collect, most important data we're trying to collect from our 3D printer is our motor data. We want to know positional data of our motor. Where is it in time so that we can control wherever it is and use it to do whatever we want. So because the motor is one aspect of our machine that matters a lot, we then have to find a way to connect the motors to the board. So these are the two boards you're going to use. You're going to need an Arduino Mega 2560, this bloke, right? Find it in your country, wherever you find it. If you don't know how to get it, you can leave a message with me and I'll ship it and send it to you at a cost, right? So again, you're going to need RAMPS 1.4. Now, there are two boards that is possible when it comes to controlling devices like this. There's something called the CNC shield. Let me show you what that one looks like. So this is a CNC shield, right? CNC shields are not the same as RAMPS 1.4. RAMPS 1.4 was designed specifically for 3D printers. One way you know they're not the same is the configuration, even the look. They're not the same. Right? Yes, all of them can take X, Y, and Z axis controls, but RAMPS is specifically for 3D printing. For instance, now if you look on the Z axis of this particular RAMPS 1.4, you see that Z axis has 2 ports, right? Y has 1, X has 1. Now let's look on CNC shield. On the CNC shield, you have Z-axis has only 1 port of connection, X-axis has only 1 port of connection, Y-axis has only 1 port of connection. So in this video, I'm not going to separate ask the difference between CNC shield and a RAMPS 1.4, but I'm just trying to show you that don't make a mistake to buy a CNC shield and think it's RAMPS 1.4. What you're trying to build is a 3D printer, so you need a board that can work with 3D printers. So RAMPS 1.4 was designed specifically for 3D printing. If you look at down here, for instance, this down here is where you control that screen, where you plug that screen on. If you look at CNC shield, you don't have, that functionality. And even if you do, it's not exactly like you would have on a RAMPS 1.4. So you always want to have RAMPS 1.4. Again, Arduino Mega is not the same thing as an Arduino Uno, right? So it has it does have that Mega word in front of it, otherwise you got the wrong thing. Now that we've talked about the RAMPS 1.4 and the Arduino Mega, let's talk about other things that are also important. Now, while RAMPS and Arduino serve the purpose of connecting to your machine, it also does not answer the question, how do you hook up your motors, right? If you look at this particular board, for instance, it has slots that are labeled X, Y, and Z. Those X, Y, and Z is looking for something, right? And what it's looking for are the motor drivers, right? The motor drivers. When we say we are reading the data of the motor, these are the ports that do the work, right? So then you're going to need a driver. And the driver we use for this particular machine is called the A4988 driver, stepper motor driver, right? The A4988 are stepper motor drivers. They are not DC motor drivers, they're stepper motor drivers. They are the ones that help you to fine-tune your stepper motors to be able to do its control more effectively, as you will come to see. So it's important you know what particular motor to get. I mean, what particular motor driver to get. It's the A4988, and it's a versatile driver and it works, right? So always keep that in mind. So you're going to need an A4988, you're going to need RAMPS 1.4, and you're also going to need an Arduino Mega 2560. So that's very important. So now, because in this video, I don't also want this video to be too long and unnecessarily, tiring, I'm just gonna stop right there. But just know that when it comes to 3D printing, you're gonna need this guy, Arduino 2560 Mega. You're gonna need a RAMPS 1.4, right? And then you're gonna need the A4988 stepper motor drivers. It looks this way. At times it can be green, at times it can be purple. Like I said, something can go wrong if you don't know how to wire it up. So you can see this one burnt out here. So that's pretty much all you need. In the next video, we'll then cover how do you hook these up and then how do you connect them to your printer. All right, I hope this has helped you. If it has, I want you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care.